Have you ever wondered what the first meal in human history looked like? Take a moment to let your imagination wander back to the dawn of civilization. Picture this: early humans huddled around a fire, roasting freshly hunted game and foraged fruits. This was the reality for our hunter-gatherer ancestors, who relied on the bounty of their local environment for sustenance. Back then, food was more than just a means of survival. It was a way of life. Every bite was a testament to the struggle and determination of these early societies. The variety of food, however, was limited to what they could hunt or gather from the surrounding vegetation. This meant that diet was largely dictated by geography and seasons. But as humans evolved, so did their relationship with food. The turning point came with the advent of agriculture. Picture a time when humans began to cultivate their own food. This was a pivotal moment in our history. The shift from hunting and gathering to farming meant that we no longer had to rely solely on what nature provided. We could now grow our own crops, domesticate animals, and establish more permanent settlements. The birth of agriculture led to a more stable food supply, which in turn allowed societies to grow and prosper. This was the genesis of diverse cuisines. With a more diverse and reliable food source, humans began to experiment with different ingredients, techniques, and recipes. This led to the creation of unique flavors and dishes, each telling a story of the people and the land from which they came. This was the beginning of a culinary journey that would span millennia. From the first cultivated crops to the diverse cuisines we enjoy today, food has been a central thread in the tapestry of human civilization. As societies grew and evolved, so did our relationship with food, paving the way for a culinary journey unlike any other. This journey is far from over. As we delve deeper into the annals of culinary history, we'll discover how food has shaped cultures, sparked revolutions, and brought people together. So buckle up and get ready for a tantalizing trip through time. How did spices from the East end up in the kitchens of the West? The answer to this question lies in the fascinating history of the Silk Road, a network of trade routes that connected the East and West. This extensive network played a pivotal role in the cultural exchange of food, where spices, fruits, and grains traversed thousands of miles, introducing new flavors to distant lands. Along this route, caravans laden with precious goods such as silk, tea, and most importantly, spices, journeyed from the heart of China, across the harsh deserts and rugged mountains to the bustling markets of the Mediterranean. These spices, once reserved for the tables of the wealthy and powerful, began to permeate the kitchens of the common folk, changing the culinary landscape forever. Yet, the Silk Road wasn't the only player in this grand exchange of culinary traditions. The Mediterranean trade routes too, with their ships sailing from port to port, carried cargoes of olives, wine, and grains, contributing to a rich and diverse gastronomic tapestry. It was through these exchanges that the Mediterranean diet, with its emphasis on fresh produce and heart-healthy fats, began to take shape. Each region along these trade routes developed its unique flavors, techniques, and dishes, transforming food from a mere necessity to an art form. In the Middle East, for instance, traders and travelers brought with them ingredients such as saffron, cinnamon, and dates, which were incorporated into local cuisine, giving rise to dishes that are still adored today. In Europe, the introduction of new flavors inspired a culinary revolution. A humble loaf of bread was no longer just a loaf of bread. It became a canvas for a myriad of flavors, from the pungent tang of garlic to the sweet warmth of cinnamon. The simple act of cooking evolved into a celebration of flavors, colors, and textures. Food, in its myriad forms, became a universal language, transcending borders and cultures. It was through these interactions, these exchanges of ingredients and ideas, that the world's culinary traditions were shaped. From the bustling markets of the Silk Road to the azure waters of the Mediterranean, food has always been more than sustenance. It's a reflection of our history, a testament to our creativity, and most importantly, a bridge that connects us all. Did you know the Renaissance was not just about art and literature, but food too? It ushered in an era where gastronomy was embraced as an art form, mirroring the broader cultural revival. Food was no longer just about sustenance. It was about pleasure, creativity, and sophistication. The Renaissance kitchen became a hub of innovation, where culinary maestros experimented with new ingredients and techniques. This was also the golden age of cookbooks. These culinary guides were more than just collections of recipes. They were reflections of the social and cultural dynamics of the time, providing fascinating insights into the eating habits of the era. Royal courts played a pivotal role too. they became patrons of grand feasts, where elaborate dishes were showcased to impress guests. These feasts were not just about food, but also about power, prestige, and diplomacy. This period forever changed the culinary landscape, setting the stage for the future of food. When did canned beans and frozen dinners become a part of our diet? This change didn't happen overnight. It was a gradual shift catalyzed by the Industrial Revolution. The Industrial Revolution, a period of rapid industrial growth from the mid-18th to mid-19th century, forever altered the food landscape. This era marked a significant shift from traditional methods of food production to mechanized and industrialized practices. With the invention of machinery, food production became faster, more efficient, and could be done on a much larger scale. One of the most transformative innovations was canning. Invented by a Frenchman named Nicolas Appert in the early 19th century, canning allowed food to be preserved for long periods, opening up new possibilities for long-distance trade and year-round availability of a variety of foods. Imagine fresh peaches in the dead of winter, or enjoying canned beans months after the harvest season. Around the same time, the concept of refrigeration was being refined and commercialized. This technological advancement revolutionized the way food was stored and transported. With refrigeration, perishable foods like meat, dairy, and produce could now be preserved for longer periods, reducing waste and further expanding our diets. The increased efficiency of food production also gave birth to the concept of convenience foods. As societies became more industrialized and people's lives got busier, the demand for quick, easy-to-prepare meals grew. This led to the development of foods like canned soups, instant noodles, and frozen dinners. Then came fast food. Born out of the bustling American lifestyle in the mid-20th century, fast food offered a quick and affordable solution to mealtimes. Convenient, yes, but this new way of eating also had profound implications on our health and lifestyles. As our world sped up, so did our meals, leading to a revolution in the way we eat. The Industrial Revolution didn't just change our factories and economies, it changed our kitchens and dining tables too. It brought us convenience, but also sparked new discussions about nutrition, health, and the quality of our food. As we continue on this culinary journey, we'll delve into how these discussions are shaping the future of food. What does the future hold for our plates? As we venture into the 21st century, we find ourselves returning to our roots in many ways. An increasing interest in locally sourced, sustainable, and organic foods has surged. We're seeing a culinary renaissance that values the integrity of ingredients and the ethics behind their production. Farmers markets are flourishing, and farm-to-table restaurants are becoming the new norm. We're reconnecting with the land and the people who cultivate it, cherishing the simplicity and authenticity that comes with it. Food movements are also on the rise, advocating for ethical farming practices and environmental consciousness. They're urging us to consider the journey our food takes from farm to fork, to appreciate each step, and to understand the impact of our choices. As a result, we're seeing a shift towards more sustainable farming practices, reduced food waste, and a greater emphasis on seasonal and local produce. It's a movement that is reshaping our approach to meals and our relationship with the environment. The future of food is also being shaped by advancements in technology. From vertical farming in urban spaces to lab-grown meat, technology is offering innovative solutions to feed a growing population. It's pushing the boundaries of what's possible, challenging our preconceived notions of food production and consumption. As we look to the future, it's clear that our culinary journey is far from over. We're constantly evolving, experimenting, and learning, driven by our insatiable curiosity and our love for food. The future of food is a tantalizing blend of tradition and innovation, a reflection of our changing values and our growing awareness. So what's next? Will we see more fusion cuisine with flavors and techniques from different cultures blending together? Will technology continue to revolutionize the way we grow and consume food? Or will we see a deeper return to traditional, sustainable farming practices? Only time will tell. As we look to the future, it's clear that our culinary journey is far from over. So what's the takeaway from our delicious journey through time? Well, we've seen how food evolved from a basic survival necessity during the early days of civilization to an art form during the Renaissance. We witnessed how historical events like the Industrial Revolution and cultural exchange along the Silk Road and Mediterranean trade routes shaped our culinary traditions. Fast forward to the 20th century, the era of fusion cuisine where culinary influences from different continents mingled, creating an eclectic culinary landscape. And in the present, the 21st century, we've seen a resurgence of interest in locally sourced, sustainable, and organic foods, reflecting our changing values and awareness. As we look to the future, we can expect to see more advancements in technology, innovative culinary techniques, and a growing awareness of nutrition, shaping the next chapter in our culinary history. From humble beginnings to the global culinary landscape we know today, food has played a central role in shaping our cultures and societies. Until next time, happy eating and happy learning.